The Echo of Midnight. In a small coastal town shrouded by mist, there stood an ancient lighthouse known as the Keeper's Watch. The lighthouse had not been in use for decades, yet locals claimed its light would sometimes flicker to life on stormy nights. Some said it was the spirit of its last keeper, Elijah Greaves, who had vanished under mysterious circumstances in 1937. Martha, a young journalist with a penchant for unravelling mysteries, decided to investigate. The town's eerie tales intrigued her, especially the whispers of a curse tied to the lighthouse. Every decade, on the anniversary of Elijah's disappearance, someone reportedly went missing near the lighthouse. The next anniversary was only 2 days away, and Martha was determined to uncover the truth. She arrived at the lighthouse just before dusk, the salty breeze biting her cheeks. Inside, the air was damp, the walls adorned with nautical charts and faded photographs. She noticed an old logbook on a dusty desk. Flipping through its pages, she saw Elijah's meticulous entries, detailing ships he'd guided safely to shore. But the final entry was peculiar. "I fear the sea's call is not the only one I must resist. If you read this, beware the midnight echo. It comes not from the waves, but from something far older." As night fell, Martha set up her camera and audio recorder. She sat near the lantern rim, waiting for midnight. The sound of crashing waves outside grew louder, more insistent. Then, precisely at 12, she heard it. A low, resonating hum, like a whale's song but deeper, vibrating through her bones. She followed the sound down to the basement, where she discovered a hidden trapdoor. Below it was a cavern, flooded with water that shimmered an unnatural green. In the center of the cavern, an enormous stone monolith jutted from the water, etched with runes that glowed faintly. Suddenly, the hum grew louder, and the water began to ripple. A figure rose from the depths, a pale, translucent man with hollow eyes. It was Elijah. "You shouldn't have come," he whispered. Martha, though terrified, asked him what had happened. Elijah explained that the monolith was an ancient beacon calling ships not to safety, but to their doom. It fed on human souls, using the lighthouse as its instrument. He had tried to destroy it, but it consumed him instead, binding him to its will. "But why warn me?" Martha asked, her voice shaking. "Because tonight it seeks another keeper," Elijah replied, his translucent form beginning to dissolve. "Run, before it claims you." The hum turned into a deafening roar as the water began to rise. Martha sprinted toward the ladder, but felt an unseen force pulling her back. Just as she reached the trapdoor, the cavern's light exploded into darkness. Martha awoke in her apartment the next morning, her clothes dry, her equipment untouched. Confused, she checked her recordings. They captured nothing but static. Perhaps it had been a dream? But when she flipped through the pictures on her camera, she froze. The final image showed the lighthouse bathed in green light, with a faint figure standing in the window. It was her. From that day on, the Keeper's Watch never flickered to life again. But on the anniversary of her visit, locals claim they now see 2 figures in the window, one of them holding a notebook, watching silently as the waves crash below.